good wage, they have good benefits, and they can really make a nice living for themselves. And it helps our company, that it gives us good bench strength. And when we have these young apprentices that really work hard and become good journeymen. Some stay as a journeyman, and there's nothing wrong with that. And some move on into a foreman, some move on into superintendent. We need all of them. And one of our most important goals is to promote apprentices for all the companies and all the construction around this area. And yeah, it's a good thing, and labor and management can come together, and that's a common ground.
If we tour some construction sites, we will see some of the trades at work. Here are iron workers putting up a cutting-edge solar grid on the EPIC campus in Verona, Wisconsin. This is brand new infrastructure that will be a green alternative electrical energy source. Operating engineers operate complex, high-powered construction equipment, sometimes in very close quarters. Laborers can be found doing various types of work. Sheet metal workers work on ventilation systems. Pipe fitters install and connect the necessary piping. Where there's wood, there are carpenters to be found. Electricians wire and install complex circuitry, such as in this new alarm system. And of course, we have seen just a few of the crafts at work that are part of the construction industry. It should be obvious that the work being performed is of a high skill level and that working safely must always be a priority. Since 1911, Wisconsin has provided classroom training to provide a theoretical foundation for apprentices so that they can better comprehend the trade that they are learning and work safely. Today, that practice continues. Let's take a look at some of these classes. Apprentices of the bricklayers and allied craft workers practice their skills and have their work judged by journeyman bricklayers in this apprenticeship class. Apprentice roofers in this class, sponsored by the Associated Building Contractors, get hands-on experience and instruction with the most up-to-date materials. Sheet metal workers, Local 18 apprentices, practice their trade in this class taught at Madison College. And apprentices with the Laborers Union benefit from the modern and expansive training center the laborers have established recently in DeForest, Wisconsin. Here they can receive basic training in handling hazardous materials and work using the most up-to-date equipment. This apprenticeship training program was only recently approved, as Cindy Anderson, the laborers training coordinator, explains.
Well, they had to get the standards set, and the state had standards that we abide by. A few adjustments that accommodate laborers, So the standards were all in place when I came. So they had that all approved. And then it was just a matter of fact of getting the program going, everything that's involved with it, from your selection process, affirmative action, the testing, the applications, the whens and wheres. So it took us a while, but within 6 months we had everything approved and up and running.
Traditionally, most apprentices were men, especially in construction, and that's still true today. Since the mid-20th century, however, with the growth first of the civil rights movement and then the women's movement and more recently the movement for immigrants' rights, more women and more workers from racial and ethnic minorities have sought these jobs and have found them. Many of these women and minority trailblazers have encountered encouragement and respect, as Cindy Anderson explains.
At first, working out there in the field, the first day on the job, I was told, always stay busy, and I did. Granted, at times, you hear and you see, but it's like, hey, you know what, I'm here to work. And the thing is, show the respect, you get the respect back. Do your job, and they respect that too.
Building a diversified workforce in construction is hard work, as those who do it can attest. Mary Watrud, the first woman journeyman steam fitter in Wisconsin, recalls her background and experience and describes the work that she does now at Construction Training Incorporated, located in Madison.
I didn't know how much I could do. Nobody knew how much I could do till I got in there and did it. You know, on the bad side, there were some very frustrating days when I would go home just ready to give it up. And on the other hand, I'd go back the next day and actually manage to do it. And to find out that at that moment, and I'll still remember the moment when I just thought, I really believed, you know, there's nothing I can't do. And it was an amazing moment. Initially, it was not many people thought I had any business being there because these were very proud guys, and they honestly thought they'd have to lower their standards to get me through an apprenticeship. But once it looked like that wasn't going to happen, I'm very proud of my association with the steamfitters in Madison. They are very good brothers. They helped me through it, and I met a lot of fine people that it turned out to be one of the most positive things I've gone through in my life. I started doing this work in 2004. We put the START program together in 2006, at the end of 2006. Construction, we worked here at Centro Hispano. They were our fiscal administrator for the first 2 years. And now we have Construction Training Incorporated, which is a nonprofit that now runs the START program.
Success in these efforts comes too slowly, and sometimes it seems that change is not happening at all until we take a close look at what is actually happening to individuals. Here are two examples of apprentices who represent the changing, more diversified construction workforce of the future.
Through that, they taught you the different skills you needed to enter the construction field, and got set up with the local labor union to take the AccuPlacer test, and took that and did real well.
They teach us here at school the new products that are coming out, how to work with it, just taking classes and learning new stuff. We get to learn, we get some experience before we go to the job site.
Manufacturing in Wisconsin has long played a central role in the state's economy. In recent years, Wisconsin, like most of the rest of the United States, has seen a decline in manufacturing employment, largely due to the workings of global trade and ongoing automation. However, this sector still remains very important. 3 long-term major Wisconsin manufacturers represent the role of apprenticeship in manufacturing today. The first, Vollrath Company in Sheboygan, was founded by a German immigrant, Jacob J. Vollrath, in 1874. Once known as a major producer of enamelware and other cookware, Vollrath today is a major manufacturer of all types of equipment for the commercial food services industry, and it has worldwide operations. Its home facility in Sheboygan has utilized apprenticeship training programs for more than 60 years to provide the skilled labor needed to keep the plant running. It has also long been the company's policy to draw apprentices from the ranks of its production workers. This policy has worked so well that a number of supervisors at the company have backgrounds first as production workers, then as apprentices and journeymen. Apprentice training at Vollrath is also a major area of union management cooperation. Let's listen to Thomas Stelb, president of UAW Local 1472 and a millwright at Vollrath, as he explains.
All the trades that we have in the shop are apprenticeable. When an apprenticeship becomes available, it gets posted on our bulletin boards throughout the plant, and all of the bargaining unit employees get the opportunity to apply for it. And then after the applications are reviewed, they're tested, and those who pass the testing procedure part of it get interviewed, and the leading qualifiers are then selected for the job. We've got a fairly good relationship, especially when it comes to the apprenticeships. We've been working very closely with the company and making sure that we want to see the apprentices. From the union side, we would like to see the apprentices be as well trained as they possibly can be.
Scott Griesbach, today a supervisor in the tool and die department and himself a product of apprenticeship training at Vollrath, knows why the plant has such excellent tool and die makers.
What we do is when we bring an apprentice on board, we will assign them to a journeyman, and that will rotate every so often, every month or so. And they will work. There's something to learn from everybody that you work with, so it's beneficial for them to get experiences from from other people. We currently have 17 journeyman tool and die makers in the shop, and each one of them has skills and abilities that they're able to pick from and learn from.
Carolyn King, Valras Manufacturing Supervisor and the company's first woman apprentice in maintenance, describes her experience working in an all-male environment.
You know, I've worked with men most of my life. I was in the military, worked with men. I grew up on a farm. I have all brothers, so I've, been in male-oriented areas most of my life.
Carolyn goes on to explain what she now does as a supervisor in training apprentices and as an apprentice instructor at Lakeshore Technical College. Notice how she compares students who are apprenticed in specific programs with those who are not.
4 years ago, I started teaching part-time up at Lakeshore Technical College, where I went through my apprenticeship. And I started off just doing some night classes in their industrial maintenance program, which is their one-year tech degree program, where with the tech degree program, you get anybody. It's so funny because I've had students that, you have to go through basic hand tools. You have to start from scratch with them. Where with the apprentices, they know a lot of things. They come in knowing a lot of things already. And if they don't know it, they're learning it on the job as part of their, learning programs.
What do apprentices do at Valrath? Just about any job that requires skilled labor. Repairing essential equipment or checking on water quality. Another mainstay in Wisconsin's manufacturing sector, Mercury Marine, based in Fond du Lac, has also long utilized apprenticeship training to meet its skilled labor needs. Known internationally for its high-quality marine engines, in Fond du Lac they not only produce the engines, but also prepare them for trade convention and boat show exhibits around the world. Let's listen to Adam Kachanik, Mercury's area manager for maintenance and support services, on the importance of apprenticeship training for the company.
Well, I believe the most important part of the apprenticeship program when we train these mechanics, electricians, tool makers is they're learning the trade, they're getting the skills that they need, they're getting the education, but they're getting it while they're here so that it's customized, I'm going to say, that they're learning things the Mercury way.
And Angela Murphy of Mercury's Human Relations Department.
Apprenticeship is just very important to manufacturing in general because I think that it shows that there are advancement opportunities for people that work in production. We have a variety of different apprenticeships, and if somebody takes a class in an area, they can eventually become a journeyman, and they have that for the rest of their life.
As Angela mentioned, apprentices here too work at a number of trades, such as machine maintenance and preparing machine engines for exhibits. Last, but certainly not least among our examples of the use of apprenticeship training in Wisconsin's manufacturing sector is Quad Graphics, a company founded in Pewaukee, Wisconsin in 1971. Today, Quad Graphics operates fully automated printing and reproduction facilities around the globe and is recognized as an industry leader in technology and innovation. A quick look at one of Quad's production operations shows the high-tech methodology of today and tomorrow